If you haven't been here long enough, let me introduce myself and start a new series called My Story. Here we do what we talk about. We talk about who I was before everything else, how I met Usatan, my ex, and how I'm rebuilding, what happened and everything, reporting what happened and what happened, what would I tell my younger self, and what would I say to anybody who is in my shoes or think that they are in my shoes.
Fool me once, fool me twice. When you're hiding things, might as well be lies. Can you ever get it right? How long will I let this lie? Hit up my girls, pull up, I'm outside, waiting by the curb.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Usne. Hope you can call me Usne or Uhope, whatever floats your boat. That's your goal. So if you haven't subscribed, please kindly do subscribe. And if you already have, thank you so much. Now let's talk about the first episode. Before everything changed. So I'm not going to delve much about what happened before everything changed, but who I was. Basically, I am former engineering student, and I was a business owner within the construction industry, and that's who I was. I basically used to be very active. I was slim in the body. Hence, in the videos prior to this, I talk about um, losing weight because I want to fit into my clothes. And what I used to do for sport, I used to run and I used to dance. And tell me of a dancer that, appreciates a bigger body. We tend to, find it difficult to accept our bigger selves. Especially, I feel that, this bigger body does not suit me. All the weight is sitting on my stomach. So I used to dance Latin and ballroom to be specific. Though I had retired, so I was helping kids within the community and within the school for the disabled, and that used to be my life outside of work. I was the breadwinner at home. I handled everything. I have a nephew um, that I am very close with. We're still very close with, and my baby just knows the auntie that used to go out with him, have fun with him, and enjoy every little moment and have me and him time, that till this day he struggles to accept this new life that I have. He constantly asks, when am I getting better? What are the doctors saying? Is there ever going to be change? Actually, not that is there ever going to be change. He's asking, when is the change going to be? So, and that sort of hurts me as well. Sometimes I find myself crying because how do I tell him that it's going to be a long road? That's if the road ends. I really loved, I used to call dance my first love. I loved jogging. I did, a minimum of 7 to 8 kilometers during the week, a couple of times a week, 3 to 5 times a week, and during the weekdays, during weekends, I used to stretch myself to do 13 kilometers a week, and I used to enter races. I had just entered I had recently started running 21 kilometers, and I was looking very much forward to improving my time and pushing myself to the best that I can, and seeing the time that I could finish the complete the 21.1 kilometers in. Basically, I was active. I was always out and about. I loved fun. I was always on the road. I used to take solo vacations. I used to get up and at any time and do what I want to do. I remember, I remember this time at the time, it clocking to me that I think I'm just way too old to, to be in a stable relationship. And because because I was the sort of person who would, get bored being at home and watching regular TV. And this is the time I'm looking back at the time before COVID, and just search the phone, what's on at the cinemas, and if there's a movie that I like, I go out even if it's after 8 p.m. and go watch that movie. I remember thinking, okay, hold on. If I had to be married, now I would have to, you know, um, have discuss this. Yeah, I'd have to discuss this that I am going out, and that person would have to have a view um of about my life, telling me whether it's a good thing. Can we do it another time? No, you're not going there. And I'm thinking, okay, I think it's too late for me to be married. But hey, that was just me, very active, independent, did everything for myself. I lived alone um, for a very long time before having to move home. I remember I obviously living alone, meaning that I have to do things, everything in the household, which also includes the handiwork by myself. I remember my cousin would have to come and make me realize, try, to just put in my head that, hey, girl, you need a man. No, I didn't need a man. Something as just fixing my curing, not because I can't fix a curing. I learned how to fix a curing perhaps by age 7. I was raised by a single mother, so I knew very well how to do everything, and I did it very well. So I had no problems at all with that. So also my job needed me to be on the road constantly. At some point in time, yes, my partner, business partner, we had decided that maybe, yes, I love traveling, but traveling does tire me. So perhaps, unless it is really, really required of me to travel, let me just, do stay at home and do the admin work. But then again, I'm not very good at admin, so I will have to travel. I needed to be on the ground, especially projects. Some projects really needed me to be on the ground, and I could not delegate. Now, that is something that I had to change um, when everything happened. So, this is basically me before everything changed. I was in my I was in my best shape ever. I was happy. Yes, I did suffer depression from losing my mother, um, 2 years a year prior. But I was coping. I've had a very strong support system, or the people, also I thought the people that were in my life. Um, I was a big sis to everyone. One thing tragedy will make you realize is that, hey, once you stop being the giver, people would also, take a step back from you because now they're not benefiting. So I was that one person that everyone could count on. I was the provider. I was the shoulder to cry on. I was that one big sis that everyone knows that they can count on and they won't let them down. So I never let anyone get them, I never let anyone down. Um, what else? I really, really also love, like I say, I help the community with dance. That is also a passion of mine. I think the last, so in KZN, there is something called the Selka Games, which is South African local games, um, which is in our province of KZN, whereby different district municipalities compete against each other, in all types of sports. And I was a manager for the last sports that I was healthy in the last year, which is 2022. I wasn't 100% healthy, but I was there. I really loved it. I remember um, I always drive with kids. I love kids. Kids love me too. We have a great relationship with kids. So I would take kids even from my area, to practice with them. And during those competitions, I had to even provide food because our municipality sometimes would let us down. I had to be all of that. I was, like I said, I was hyper independent, super independent. I did everything by myself. I had learned that way. I had learned from the base. Like my mother married when I was very, very old. And I had to move the bed. I had to, rearrange the room. I didn't have to put in the bulb, fixing the minor things like the sink, whatever needs, blocked toilet. I had to do that by myself. I already talked about the sports parts. I don't know what else. If anyone knows me, just tell me what else do you know about me if you're watching this video. And if somebody here whose life has changed, please let me know that, what happened to you and what has changed since that big life change, or since your that big life incident that forced your life to take a total turn around. Now that's from me, Hope. Thank you for tuning in to my next video. I love you. Mwah. I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope you learned a few things about me. I'm not sure if that was all, but that's what came at the top of my mind, and that's what I could tell you guys. I Please do kindly subscribe, like this video, share it. I would really love to grow and reach 1,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate if you support me in this quest. I thank you.